Hello everyone, welcome to Visions Anatomy. Today we are going to learn about skull norma occipitalis. The link of norma verticalis is given in the description box below as well as in the I button. The skull can be viewed from anterior aspect, lateral aspect, superior aspect, inferior aspect as well as from the posterior aspect. The posterior view of the skull is called as norma occipitalis. Norma means view. Occipitalis is the view from the posterior aspect where the occipital bone is seen. As osteology is concerned, just look at the bone and touch the bone and feel all the features. The bone itself will give you all the answers and points during your viva. The outline of norma occipitalis is more or less it is horseshoe shaped. It is not a proper horseshoe shaped. The appearance is made because of the projection which is seen on the lateral side. The bones seen here are, we can able to see pair of parietal bones superiorly, and inferior to that we can able to see occipital bone, and laterally we can able to see mastoid process of temporal bone. In between the sutures, we can able to see small irregular bones, which are called as sutural bones or Vermean bones. The bones are attached by means of a joint. So the joint between the bones are called as sutures. They are stitch-like structures which are present between the bones. It is the immovable joint. The sutures seen here are between the two parietal bones we can able to see sagittal suture, and between the pair of parietal bones and occipital bones we can able to see lambdoid suture. And still more laterally, we can able to see a suture between the occipital bone and the mastoid process, called as occipito-mastoid suture. And between the parietal bone and the mastoid process, we can able to see another suture called as parieto-mastoid suture. So 4 sutures we can able to see: sagittal suture, lambdoid suture, occipito-mastoid suture and parieto-mastoid suture. The Vermean bones or the sutural bones, they are intrasutural bones, which means they occur within the suture of the skull. They are highly irregular and they are isolated bones, and they mostly occur in the lambdoid suture. And the bone, the sutural bone which is present at the point of lambda, is called as Inca bone or os incae. They can appear in addition to usual centers of ossification of the skull. The intersections, here the sutures meet at point, which we call it as intersections. In this picture, we can able to see the intersection or the meeting point of sagittal suture and lambdoid suture, which is called as lambda, where we can see the pair of parietal bones and occipital bones meet. At the same time, we can able to see another intersection between the lambdoid suture and parieto-mastoid suture and occipito-mastoid suture, where the parietal bone, the occipital bone and mastoid process of temporal bone meets. This point is called as asterion. The lambda and asterion in fetal skull, they are called as fontanelle because those areas are not completely fused, where they are connected or attached by means of a membrane. Already we have learnt about the anterior fontanelle and posterior fontanelle. So here we are going to learn about another one new fontanelle. So here we can able to see the bones are not completely fused and they are attached by means of a membrane. So that is called as fontanelle. Here the lambda, in fetal skull, it is called as posterior fontanelle, which is triangular in shape, and it is present between the sagittal suture anteriorly and lambdoid suture on either sides. And at this point where the posterior fontanelle is present, that is fused at the age of 2 to 3 months after birth. Where the another fontanelle, that is the point where the parietal bone, the mastoid process, here in the fetal skull the mastoid process is absent. So between the temporal bone and the occipital bone, the area which is incompletely fused and connected by means of a membrane is called as asterion. In adult skull, in fetal skull, this is called as posterolateral fontanelle because this is on the posterior aspect as well as on the lateral aspect. So it is called as posterolateral fontanelle. This fuses at the age of 1 year after birth. The features seen in the Norma occipitalis are mainly in the occipital bone. At the midpoint, we can able to see very prominent elevation, which we call it as protuberance. It is present in the occipital bone, so it is called as occipital protuberance, and it is present on the external surface of the skull, so it is called as external occipital protuberance. And just below the external occipital protuberance, we can able to see a linear elevated structure. This is called as crest. So this is present in the occipital bone, so it is called as occipital crest, as well as on the external side, so it is called as external occipital crest. And on either side of the external occipital protuberance, we can able to see a linear elevated line-like structure, which is called as superior nuchal line. Nuchae means neck, so this is the point where the beginning of the neck appears. And lateral to the external occipital crest, we can able to see another pair of linear elevated line that is called as inferior nuchal line. We can able to see another line which is above the superior nuchal line, which is faint and very poorly identified. So that is called as highest nuchal line. And near the mastoid process, we can able to see the mastoid foramen through which the emissary vein passes through. And the highest point of the external occipital protuberance is called as inion. And in the parietal bone, we can able to see the parietal foramen through which the parietal emissary vein passes through. And the midpoint of the parietal foramen is called as the obilion. We can see the summary of Norma occipitalis. Norma occipitalis is the posterior view of the skull. It is almost horseshoe in shape. The bones seen are pair of parietal bones, occipital bone, and pair of mastoid process of temporal bone. And the sutures seen are, we can able to see the lambdoid suture, sagittal suture, occipitomastoid suture, and parieto-mastoid suture. And in between the suture, especially in the lambdoid suture, we can able to see small isolated irregular bones which are present within the suture, that is called as sutural bones or Vermean bones. We can able to see the intersections here. Between the sagittal suture and the lambdoid suture, the intersection is called as lambda. Between the lambdoid suture and the occipitomastoid suture and parieto-mastoid suture, the intersection is called as asterion. And the features seen here, we can able to see the external occipital protuberance. Just below that is the external occipital crest, and lateral to the external occipital protuberance is the superior nuchal line, and lateral to the external occipital crest is the inferior nuchal line. And we can able to see a very faint line just above the superior nuchal line is called as the highest nuchal line. And the highest point of the external occipital protuberance is called as inion. And the lambda in fetal skull, it is called as posterior fontanelle, which it fuses at the age of 2 to 3 months after birth. The asterion in fetal skull, this is called as posterolateral fontanelle, which fuses at the age of 1 year after birth. If you find this video useful, share and subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon to get the updations immediately. Separate anatomy online classes as well as coaching classes are undertaken. Students, those who are interested, can contact in the email ID given below. I'll meet you in the next video. Bye-bye.